everybody. Guess what day it is, Brandon?
Oh, my goodness.
Guess what day it is, guys?
Mike.
It's Hump
What day is it, Mike? Guess what today
What's the
is?
name of this guy?
Humpty.
It's Hump Day.
Look at Humpty. Go, Humpty. Go, Humpty. Go. Yes, you guys know I love Hump Day. I don't like Hump Day like normally, but I like it on this show. Does that make sense? Like, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite day of the week. Like if I wasn't working,
Right.
But it's my favorite day of the week when we're working. You
Can
get
we-
what I'm
can we
saying?
get-
It's my favorite work day?
Right.
Is that better?
That's better.
Okay.
But can we get Humpty doing something different?
No, that's what Humpty does. He goes around the office and he goes, "Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? It's Hump Day." You never actually listened to it?
No, I've never listened to it.
We've played this video multiple Wednesdays, and
Can I get Humpty maybe going into the executive's office or going into the mail room? You know what I mean? Does he just do the same thing? Go to the same
people?
people?
He goes around the office and he goes, "Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is?" Until somebody answers him, "It's Hump Day."
Right.
Well, listen, it's Hump Day here at Paper Route. I'm so excited. You guys know it's my favorite work day. It's my favorite day on this show. And we have a lot to get into. It's going to be a fun show today. As you guys know, Wednesday's a weird day in the NFL schedule because Thursday night football is not until the following day.
Right.
So we're not previewing any games. There's no games Tuesdays. Mondays come and gone. Sundays come and gone. So we're going to have a little bit of a different kind of vibe today. But it's going to be fun. So we're going to start with the New York Jets. They are back on everybody's radar once again. I feel like the Jets have never left the NFL discourse. I'm already in NBA season. But they're on the news circuit for a different reason.
Why?
JCole, a guy I'm a big fan of. You like JCole, right?
Love JCole.
Me too. I'm a big fan of JCole. I actually listened. JCole went to St. John's.
Mm-hmm.
So in New York, growing up in New York, his Friday Light mixtapes were like a cult following in
Right.
New York. So we were rocking with him way before like he went mainstream because again he went to St. John's. Friday Night Lights was like a huge mixtape and like the I keep saying NBA, I have basketball in my mind, in the New York like music scene and
Right.
stuff. So then when he went like mainstream, I was like, oh, it's J. Cole. So I've always been a big fan. But J. Cole and Colin Kaepernick are really good friends. They have a great relationship. And yesterday, J. Cole shared a letter that Colin Kaepernick penned to the New York Jets organization asking them to consider him as a solution to their quarterback problem. He says that he shared the letter with Kaepernick's permission, and he wanted to share it because he wanted people and all organizations to know the truth about, quote, how hard he works and how much he wants to play and always has. Now, in the letter, Kaepernick says, I have a piece of it. It's a long letter, so I'll just read a chunk of it. He says, I know that there are currently depth issues at the position, and I've heard that the backup spot is likely to be filled by a veteran quarterback. As much as I would love the opportunity to fill that spot, I'm writing you in hopes that you can imagine a much different approach involving me. I would be honored and extremely grateful for this opportunity to come in and lead the practice squad. I would do this with the sole mission of getting your defense ready each week. He then goes on to list the benefits of that, of what him being involved with the practice squad and getting them ready for defenses each week. He lists that in the letter. But I mean, Brandon, we actually had Colin Kaepernick on the I Am Athlete podcast. And do you want to play that video and then dissect this letter? Or do you want to dissect this letter first and then play that video?
Not yet. Let's play it after this. Like,
Okay.
I don't know why I just got teary-eyed here. This is sad to me. And I'm being honest. This is not cap. This isn't for the
Sad in what way?
the show. It's like what is like him writing this letter and then having the references at the end. Like, we've never seen this before. It's too late. He hasn't played since 2016. Now let me take a few steps back. Yes, we had Cap sit down with us on I Am Athlete, the big show that's coming back here soon in a couple of weeks. But the way we got that was him here training at the facility. And I sat down with him and I'm like, yo, bro, in my office, I'm like, what are you trying to accomplish? Because during that time, Cap was actually going around the country throwing the ball to college guys, high school guys, NFL guys, just so he can get footage and film to show NFL teams that he can still do it. And when we sat down, he said, no, bro, I really want to play. I said, if you really want to play, then you need to tell your story. We sat there for 2 days going back and forth about this with his team, my team. And he was so reluctant to tell his story. Same thing with Cole said. Like, if you go back to the letter, he opens up saying, I asked Cap.
Yes.
Go back to the letter really quickly. This is important.
Well, the caption, rather, of the Instagram. He said, I asked Colin if I could share this letter with the world. He was reluctant.
Go ahead. Keep going. Sorry.
My argument was that I believe that the people and all organizations should know the truth about how hard he works and how much he wants to still play.
That's good, Ash. That's good. I promise you, like, Cap has all these other things going on. He has a production company doing some amazing things, and he has a deal with Disney, I believe, where his documentary, I don't know if it came out yet, so he can't really go out there and do too much, right? And I'm like, yo, bro, if you really want to play, you got to do 2 things. One, you got to continue to do what you're doing, flying around, showing that you can still throw the ball. We went out there, me, my nephew, Ocho, Pac-Man, everybody. We brought other receivers in. I think we may even have some NFL guys, and he looked phenomenal. He could throw the ball. And I said, the second thing you need to do is you need to tell your story. We've been telling your story. JCole been telling your story. Everybody else been telling your story. We need to hear from you. Like, just imagine when we've never seen Cap say, no, this is where I'm at. This is what I believe. We haven't seen that. He's been sitting back on Disney. He's been sitting back on Netflix shows, and everybody else been telling this story. You've never heard him say this publicly. And so that's why I got emotional, because it's like, bro, it's too late. Like, I appreciate Cap.
Why do you think it's too late? I'm curious on why
2016 was the last time he played.
Okay, but I'm not
Not
negating that, but playing on the other side of that, I think that 2016, okay, yes, a long time away from the game. I will 100% give you that. But I think physical capabilities, if the physical capabilities are there, if the IQ of the game is still there, if all of the tangibles or intangibles of the game are still there, we have seen quarterbacks a lot less talented physically, IQ wise of the sport get multiple opportunities. We've seen, Carson Wentz get multiple opportunities to fail at being a starter.
2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That's 8 years. We just said last week, not we, I'm talking about watching ESPN FS1, Deshaun Watson. After the second week of the season, remember, when Chubb went down and he looked like trash to everybody, everybody was saying, yo, it's been 2 years. Have we ever seen a quarterback come back and beat themselves again after 2 years? What's the case study? Well, Michael Vick, he did some time. He's had to sit down. He came back and played at a high level for 2 or 3 years, right? And everybody in media, literally just a week and a half ago, was just talking about how 2 years off was how detrimental it was for a player, right? And they're saying that they can't even get back to that type of level. So when we talk about Colin Kaepernick being down for 7-8 years, that is a big deal.
No, I agree with you, but I think that it's a big deal if you're talking about bringing him in as the replacement to your starter. Like, if you were bringing him in to replace Zach Wilson, I agree with you. It'd be risky. He's been away from the game for a long time, but what he's proposing, getting, your players right for defenses and think that's all cognitive. That
I don't need a 35. You don't need
to be. You can be years removed from the game and be able to do that. Look at head coaches that were once quarterbacks and now head coaches. There's no timetable for that.
So we're gonna play the video here shortly, and the way I got into this question, I was like, yo, let's role play. I'm the GM. But think about it, right? Before we play the video, I'm the GM, right? Why am I going to go sign a 35-year-old quarterback that just wants to help the team win, okay, that hasn't played since 2016, and it's going to bring a lot of stuff with him? Why would I do that when there's a 23-year-old kid, 24-year-old kid, 25-year-old kid that I could potentially develop? Or even a Trevor Siemian who's trash, haven't won a game since 2017, but he's been in the league. He's been around. That makes no sense for me as a general manager. I want to throw to this video here quickly, Ash, then we can jump back into the conversation. But this is when we sat down with Cap this summer, and we had that first sit down with him within 5 years.
Let's role play. Talk to me. I'm the GM.
Come on.
We doing method acting?
Yeah, come on, cause watch this. Cause I'm the GM. Let's play it. Let's go.
We got you here today.
So let me come in and compete. I mean, you have your roster, you had a team. Let me come in, compete, show you what I can do.
Well, Cap, you know, football, it's all about eliminating distractions. Like, how do I know if I bring you in and I sign you, that you're going to make my locker room better, that you're going to bring us together?
One, you can know by experience. My coach, Jim Harbaugh, spoke to it. My coach, Chip Kelly, spoke to it and said that I made the locker room better. I came in, I prepared, I made the team better. That 2016 season, my last year, my teammates voted me the most courageous and inspirational player. So when you're talking about the people that are actually in the building, that has never come out that I've been a distraction. It's never come out that I've been an issue from the people I played with.
Cap, can I keep it real with you, Cap? This is between you and I. Don't tell nobody. $16 billion industry, Cap. What about our fan base? What do we say to our fan base? Like, what are they going to say?
I say you have end racism in the back of your end zone. You got Black Lives Matter on your helmet. Everything I've said should be in alignment with what you're saying publicly. It's a $16 billion business. When I first took a knee, my jersey went to #1. When I did the deal with Nike, their value increased by $6 billion. $6 billion with a B.
With a B.
With a B.
So we acting. Come on, stay in mode.
Talk man. You broke character. You broke character. Talk. So if you're talking about the business side,
it makes sense.
It shows beneficial. If you're talking about the playing side, come in, let me compete. You can evaluate me from there. The NFL is supposed to be a meritocracy. Come in, let me compete. If I'm not good enough, get rid of me. But let me come in and show you.
Woo.
Wow. Okay.
So,
well, guys, Brandon and I were having a conversation while the clip was going on, and I was under the impression, Brandon, that this was a piece of a much longer conversation, but you told me that this is a piece of just a 14-minute conversation, and there was a lot other.
Yes.
Things.
So we sat down with Cap probably for I'm getting goosebumps, man. Like just going back to that moment, just how everything happened. Like that. So it was a 90-minute sit down, and 15 minutes was cleared, and that's why like I got emotional reading what JCole put out there, because that's how I felt. I'm like, yo, because we all want to help. Like I want to see my brother there, right? I would love for him to be in it, go in the NFL now. But it's like, bro, you got to get out your own way. Because I'm sitting here like, yo, for 2 days, you tell your story. Remember the 2 things I told him? Continue to do what you're doing, throwing the ball. You got to answer the question, can you play? And 2, tell your story. J.Cole can't tell your story. I Am Athlete don't need to tell your story. You need to do it. So when you have 90 minutes of phenomenal content, people would have leaned in like, yo, I rock with Cap. Even think about what he just said. That was relatable. The dude said, with a B. Like we all laughed. That's like, yo, you need to show that, bro. And so because of business reasons, as far as like what he's doing on the production side, that couldn't come out. And I think that's the reason why he hasn't been back in the NFL, because he should be the people's champ. Why did that show only do 500,000? When you think about Colin Kaepernick, we put that out, that should have did 2 million right away. But he's not the people's champ. Why isn't he the people's champ? Because he's not telling the story. He's not out there. So,
I mean, I think, yes, I points were made, but I think that if we're just talking about it in terms of opportunities and chances given, I don't think front offices really care whether or not he's telling the story. I think we as fans, as Kaepernick fans, as Black people, want to hear him go further into depth and tell his own story from his own mouth and not have other people tell it. But I don't think that organizations are that inept, that deep to really care about
no,
that.
You're
that
right.
makes no difference. And they're just looking at 2016 was the last time this guy played football.
No, but that's not that. But no, you're right. You're 100% right. But what I'm saying is this: people's champ. If he actually goes out and tells his story, then you're gonna have more people right in the teams, right in the league, standing up saying that we want Cap. We want Cap, putting pressure on him.
Boombaye?
Yes.
Okay.
You feel me?
Okay.
Like if nobody's doing that. Nobody's been doing that. There's only been a few people here and there saying, even the black community, we haven't even. When have we seen players stand up and say we want Cap?
I mean, do you think it's because of the amount of time that has transpired from when Cap first took the knee and you know the first instance of major Black Lives Matters movements and him being at the forefront and the taking of the knee and just everything that surrounded that? Do you think it's just so far removed that it's like out of sight, out of mind for a lot of people?
No, I think it's because, you know, we don't know. Nagin, pull up the Dez Bryant, that when we did Dez Bryant and Dez Bryant questioned, he questioned Cap. Pull that up. Let's pull that up. See if we have that video, right? And the reason why I'm saying that is because even after we did this, Cap was frustrated with us, with me and the platform, because Adam Pac-Man Jones flew to L.A. a week later, and TMZ caught him coming out the airport, and they asked him about Cap. And he said, I don't know. I just know the dude, he can still throw. Like, he can still throw the ball. Mm-hmm. But the other stuff off the field, we don't know. I bring that up to say this. If players aren't standing with you and we're wishy-washy, then everybody else is. And the reason why is because he doesn't tell the story. We don't know. That's what I'm saying, bro. You got to talk. You got to tell all the things. Do you know every week he's still doing some amazing things in the community?
Yes.
It's not for...
especially with the Know Your Rights
correct.
organization that he has. Yeah.
Correct. Right. So, like, people don't know. There's black players, white players, black people, black fans, white fans sitting there saying, who is Kaepernick? Mm-hmm. Why should we root for him? Why should we, ask a team to, bring him in? They're doing it with other players. Guys go down. Why don't we go get Andrew Luck? Why don't we go get Carson Wentz? Why don't we go get Ryan Fitzpatrick or all these other guys? Why aren't they saying Kaepernick?
I will say this. I think that you make a valid point in terms of getting the support of the general public, and maybe that could go ahead and change things, or the possibility of that it changing things or just having more support in his corner. I agree with you. That probably is, a high possibility. But I will say this. I think that even with everything that we have been through as a country in the last 5 years,
right?
Between Trayvon Martin, between George Floyd, between just the civil unrest, during the pandemic and the Black Lives Matter protests throughout the country, and the NFL, putting end racism in the end zone and the helmets, and then, the claims of wanting to be more socially aware. I just think that at its root, mm-hmm. at the root of the NFL, at the foundation of the NFL, that will never be the case.
What would never be the case?
I don't think that it's ever that important to them to continue the work that they were so invested in at a moment in time. I think they had no choice but to be invested. Yep. At that moment in time, because the entire country was. That's whether or not you wanted to be, if you weren't, people were looking at you crazy.
That's right.
I think the moment has kind of, for a lot of people, been put on the back burner because it's not their reality. For Black people, for minorities, it doesn't come and go. It's the life that we live constantly. We're constantly reminded of.
Yeah.
For certain organizations, especially when their foundation was not built on that, like when you look at the NBA, their foundation is built on being socially aware. Mm-hmm. So that's always ingrained in their DNA. With the NFL, I think it was a window in time. And I don't think they will ever, even if Cap had all the support in the world because he's told his story, I still don't think that they would welcome him back.
Well, I push back on you there. I agree with 98% of everything you said, but except, if he had the support, they still wouldn't have welcomed him. Why did they actually put in racism in the back of the end zone? Because for the very first time, and this is the other stuff I validate you, you're right. Mm-hmm. For the very first time in the NFL, we had our black players, mm-hmm. Odell Beckham Jr., Lamar Jacksons of the world, and I can't even recall all the superstars that did a selfie video and said, "What if it was me?
Patrick Mahomes.
What if it was me?" And that's why they did it, is because for the very first time we stopped acting institutionalized and we understood our leverage. Mm-hmm. So that's my point, is the NFL, you're right. They don't care. They don't give a damn about any of that. They're reactive. Mm-hmm. And all they care about is our reputation. Mm-hmm. Right? and appealing to their fan base and making sure that we eliminate distractions and we protect the shield. So if you had a whole movement saying cap, 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 I think there would have been an owner that broke, right? But because he left so much gray out there, like, does he really care? There's questions out there. It's like, where's the money going? What is he still doing? Why don't we hear from him? And you just gave the NFL so much power. Now we're 7 years out and we're writing letters and we're saying, I want to be on the practice squad. Like,
I'm also confused because I know we had the video teed up, so we'll throw to that in a second, but I'm also confused, and I could be wrong, but I thought the settlement he reached with the NFL was that he couldn't, wasn't there a stipulation that he couldn't, like, he had to, like, basically stay away from the league, essentially? Like, here's the money that, whatever the dollar amount was. I thought that the stipulation in there was that he had to remove himself from all things NFL. I could be mistaken, but can somebody fact check that for me? I could have sworn there was some sort of like language in there that prevented him from.
No, remember he had the workout in Atlanta, and the NFL teams were supposed to be there. I think media was supposed to be there, and at the very last second, they sent out. So there was a settlement, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but then there was. They were going to the NFL put together a workout. And at the very last hour, they sent over, a waiver that they wanted him to sign off on. And basically this waiver was going to take away something. And that's why they moved the workout somewhere else. But he did not sign it because he wanted to make sure that he had his power to be able to tell his story. And that's like me going back in the time.
Yes.
Because there was the settlement where he got paid, but then there was
Yes.
also the other movement in Atlanta, right, where the NFL came in, but they were trying to get him to sign.
Right.
They threw something in there.
And he didn't sign it. Okay.
Right.
That's what it was. All right.
So, but here's the video if we have it, and Ashley, we can push forward after this. But I wanted to highlight this because this is how, his peers feel. And it shouldn't be that way. I'm on his side, right? I feel like more of us should be like, nah, we support Cap. We stand with Cap. But when you have the Dez Bryants of the world, the Pac-Mans of the world, and so many others, just like, and even Antonio Brown, how wild he is. But Antonio Brown came and said, I don't know what he's doing, right? When you have that, then you lose your power. And this is Dez Bryant right here.
When it comes to Colin Kaepernick, I'm not calling you out to call you out and try to make you look stupid. I call you out because of the fact that we are brothers. I feel like I understand that. I feel like I understand something that you understand. I feel like I can get in depth of what you're talking about.
So, to end the show, looking in the camera, talking to Cap, what would you say to him?
Come on, Cap, let's work. I love you. I like the fact that you brought the awareness. You're a real dude for that. But you don't stop where you stopped at. You don't do that. Because that same situation that you was fighting for is still going on. Like, come on, bro, you did that. I don't know everything, but I know I can add value to what you're talking about. I know that.
So, Ashley, the reason why that's powerful is this, and I love Dez. It's my boy. But he never stopped. Like the bronze bomber said, till this day, he's still working every single week. But we don't know. We don't know. And now you got people, out there a lot. And Daz ain't the only one saying, well, where you at? Let's work. He never stopped working. So, look, I appreciate JCole, but I just feel like it's too late, Ashley, and it's unfortunate. In that moment, like, I was pleading with him as well. I was like, bro, this is the moment. Continue to do what you're doing. Show that you can throw the ball, and he was able to do that. Hell, he can probably throw the ball now.
What about something like before we move on, what is something like the USFL or the XFL?
He didn't want. He said he didn't want to do that. He said, no, I want to go to the NFL.
I know, but you can. That'd be the perfect situation to showcase how you would be in an actual game. Would be in something. And I know, like, going from the NFL to that may, I don't want to call it a downgrade, but it's not the same tier.
Yeah, but you were right what you said earlier, Ashley. Like, the dude can play from a physical standpoint.
Right.
He can play
for sure.
He can be a backup. There's 64 quarterbacks, and you tell me he can't be one of them.
I agree completely.
It ain't 32. We're talking about 64. and even more because some teams have 3 on the roster. Now you can put dudes on practice squad, so some it might even be more. That's not it. It's the questions that we asked him, right? Like, that's uncomfortable for me to ask him, like, bro, like, you know, our there's 320 million Americans, 90 of them are avid football fans. How many of them are white? That's basically what I'm at. That's what I was asking him, because the general managers, that's what they need to hear. No, I'm coming. I ain't gonna be a distraction. I'm just here to play football. Are you gonna take a kneecap? Right? That's what they wanted to hear. But you got to say that. So if he went to the USFL, Canada, if he XFL, it don't matter. They need to hear from him. They needed to hear from him, and it's too late.
There have been NFL quarterbacks, famous NFL quarterbers.
No, not seven. No, not seven. What you about to say?
Didn't Kurt Warner do it?
No. Oh, he was in a grocery store. We see how long. No, he was in arena, went to the grocery store, then made his way to the NFL.
Saying,
Ashley, Linda,
didn't Warren Moon take a similar route?
7 years. No. They played.
Right.
They played. I think Warren Moon went to Canada or something.
Okay.
No, he hasn't played any football.
But that's my point. Like, maybe, you know, and I don't want to, like, harp on this, but just my point would be, like, if you can't get an opportunity in the NFL because a lot of people are still question marks about what you can do. Does he want to still play? What's that going to look like? Then I feel like there's so many leagues now, the XFL, the USFL, to like, okay, let me silence my doubters this way.
We asked that question.
I don't see that as a you see a lot of players getting moved up from the XFL, the USFL, are now sitting in the NFL. Like, I don't think that's an asinine idea.
I don't either. And sorry, I've been interrupting you way too much today.
No, go
ahead. But ask Nikki, I'm sorry, guys. This is just such a juicy, awesome conversation. Can we ask Nagin if we have that promo of us asking that question? That was a question that we asked, and I don't even remember his answer, right? So, like, do we have that promo of Cap? We asked Cap, why wouldn't you go to Canada? Why won't you go to, I don't think it was the XFL, it was the USFL then.
Yeah, I mean, okay, like, let's
see his answer, but we'll see. Let me use you as an
example while they pull this up. If you were in a similar situation, maybe not so many years, but let's say, you know, you left the league a lot earlier than you wanted to, right? And you were having an issue getting a roster spot on an NFL team, but the XFL, the USFL exists, and you know that it's not the same USFL and the XFL of years ago. There's a lot more eyes on it. The Rock's behind it. They're now merging leagues. There's a lot more opportunity there.
Right.
Do you like stick your nose up to it like, no, I came from the NFL. Why would I play in that? That's stupid. Or do you take that opportunity to ball out and still show what you can do?
Listen, let me speak to Cap.
No, speak to you from an ego standpoint.
Okay, because I've been in this situation before.
One
of the reasons why a lot of us athletes, and I'll answer your question, Ashley, because I want to be respectful. I cut you off a couple times.
No, I'm just wondering the ego. Maybe I'm missing the ego standpoint.
Because me talking this way, you'll understand like my mindset, and it will answer the question. One of the reasons why a lot of us suffer, lose everything post-career is because our identity is wrapped up in the game. When it's taken away from us, or when we walk away due to injury, or it's just that's what it is, right? What are you taking? You're taking me, everything, right? And so what I would say to guys like Cap or myself that's in situations like this is like, bro, it's okay. Like, this second act for him, this second mountain is greater than him playing football. He only played 6 years. He made it to a Super Bowl. Phenomenal. All of that stuff that he did, he took the freaking NFL for storm. He was the face of the NFL for at least 2 years. And I promise you, if he did the right thing, because he might have missed his window. We're talking about, you know, the new generation civil rights leader. And that's what Daz was talking about. And so it's like, why are we still playing football? Like, you don't even need that platform anymore. 35 still want to play? That's just like, sometimes I ask, like, people walk up to me and they like, yo, you know, what's up, B. Morris? I want some advice. What would you want some advice on? Can you listen to my music? All right, let me listen to your music. And then, boom, you know, I hear the music and I look and I'm like,
this ain't it.
But this ain't it. Who in your life is going to tell you this ain't it? Okay, now I got to answer the question. So your question was, what would I do in this situation, correct? So what I would do in this situation.
And be honest, like, use it from your own
Be specific. Be specific.
Okay,
because how many years would we? Because like, if I'm Kaepernick, 7 years.
7. Okay, let me go ahead. Let's go. I'm gonna go 5.
I'm at House of Athlete. I'm built in House of Athlete.
Okay,
I am
but
athlete.
let's
If
say
it's cap situation,
you left the NFL not on your own accord. It's been 5 years, and you've been actively working. Yes, you got other things going on, but you've been actively working, and you still feel like you still got it. That your career came to an end quicker than you wanted to.
Okay.
And you've been in those past 5 years, you've had workouts, you've had conversations, but nothing has manifested to an NFL roster spot. The USFL exists, the XFL exists, and you say in your mind, okay, I can go to these leagues, ball out, show everybody, not just NFL organizations, but the general public what I can still do.
Yeah.
And possibly turn that into an NFL roster spot, or are you looking at it like, no, I was once an NFL starter. I refuse to go and play in that league.
Okay.
It's
great.
quote unquote beneath me.
So if 2 to 3 years, okay, I'll go to XFL, go to Canada. But after about 2 to 3 years, it's time to get a job, bro.
Okay.
And then I'm expecting you. I'm expecting Keon. I'm expecting Manderville, Ali, Bonnie to look at me and say, bro, this ain't it.
Okay.
You know how many dudes come in this facility every day and they like, bro, we got dudes training here. They ain't got a snap. They ain't got one lick of film, and it's been 5-6 years.
But my point, film.
And
game
I
film
know.
come from the XFL, from the U. That's like the perfect solution to get game film and real game experience.
Right. We got one guy here that's been bouncing around from Canada and the XFL, USFL for 4 or 5 years. They don't make no money.
But Cat doesn't need the money.
And I had to pull him in the office. I'm like, bruh.
Right.
What we doing?
I know, but in the situation of Colin Kaepernick, he doesn't need the money. He has these NFL money. He has Nike money. He has his hands in so many other endeavors post-NFL career that if it's strictly just to show the world that he is still able to play at a high level and he's not starving, I feel like it's the perfect situation to showcase that. So I'm having a hard time understanding why that's never been an option on his radar.
Right. You know, I listen, I hear you and I agree. My last point is this. I don't think it's about the physical. Because you're right. Like, you go 2 Super Bowls ago, when the Super Bowl was in LA, went to a Sirius XM event. Shout out to Sirius XM, Faction Talk Channel 103, and all the people listening and rocking with us right now. And so we're at this event, and Brett Favre's there, Kevin Hart, everybody's in the back. LL Cool J. I go up to Brett Favre, hey, man, take this football, hit me. You know us old farts, like we still think we got it. I'm out there running a slab, about to pull a hammy and shit. Brett Favre out there like this, and Brett Favre is damn near 50 and still can throw the ball. When you healthy, them boys can still throw the ball.
It's not about throwing it, but when you get hit, it's over.
Correct. That's my point. So he worked out for the Raiders. The NFL put together a workout for him. We seen the footage of him throwing to NFL players just 2 summers ago. He was throwing to us. Go watch the whole video. We got a whole thing. He has a whole thing of him throwing the ball. The stuff that we love, Justin Fields and Zach Wilsons of the world, when they're doing their pro days, they're rolling right, and they got a keeper right, keeper left, and then they throw it off their back foot 70 yards and throw it on a dime on a post. He was doing that. I personally chased him down. The last play, I said, let me see if you still. No. I mean, you might be but I'm faster than all these DNs in the league.
Okay,
except Michael Parsons.
I'll give you that.
But the last play, I said, you know what, Cap? I want to see if you can still run, because we know you can throw. But is that the same? Are you still the same Cap? And then I put my little nephew on him, right? Armani, who's in college, wide receiver, who's faster than me. And I said, we both going to chase you. We couldn't catch him.
Well, we're going to move on, but I know we have that answer to the question, the clip. So we'll play that quickly.
I don't think we have it.
Do we have that?
No,
we don't have that. Okay,
it was a whole show. They said it ain't no clip, it's a whole show.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on from one quarterback to another. Josh Dobbs wants you to put some respect on his name, okay? So Josh Dobbs has been having a moment with the Arizona Cardinals, and on Saturday afternoon, he visited the team store and innocently tried to purchase a jersey for a family member. You know, he is the starting quarterback after all, but there was just one major problem. It didn't exist. Look at this.
Yo, Josh Dobbs here. All right, I'm in the team store for the Cardinals trying to get a jersey for my fam. Check this out. So I walk over here to get a jersey made. Boom. Adult. Then I go large. Next. Then I go select from roster, okay? Next. And guess what? Your boy is nowhere to be found. You got all the numbers and no number 9. Like, yo, I know I just got here, but
Ashley, I love this dude, yo.
Custom jersey.
Yeah, well, listen.
Help your boy out.
He couldn't get his jersey. Has that? Well, I mean, has that ever happened to you? Probably not, right? Maybe like later, maybe in New Orleans, because you get a New Orleans jersey at the team store.
Yeah, I had a little cup of tea there, but you know what I'm saying? My jerseys a sellout. You know what I'm saying? There was times where I was top 10. You know what I'm saying?
What about ones that when you were in the Giants, can you get it at the team store?
Yeah, the Giants. Yeah, the last 3 cup of teas that I had, Giants for 6 games.
They were like, we had to go put this in the store because
Seattle
he might not
for
be here
6
much
games.
longer. So.
I ain't even dress up when I was in the NOLA. That was 4 games, 4 weeks. They probably ain't even,
They probably said, you know what, we're not even going to make this.
You know what? If I see anybody right now can send me in, and it got to be authentic, right? Can't be because you can get stuff made. Mm-hmm. Right now, in the next 24 hours, anybody that posts and send it in to us, a Giants Brandon Marshall jersey, a Seattle Seahawks Brandon Marshall jersey, a New Orleans Saints Brandon Marshall jersey, I'm giving them $1,000.
Ooh.
Nah, hold on, Ashley. My team like, bro, we on a budget, bro. I'm gonna give them $100 because there might be 20 of them things. Hey, we on a budget over here. Hey, new media. We need some brands to come. Ashley looked at me too like, boy, my check better clear.
I thought you were gonna say 100, 200. You said 1,000.
I thought I was still in the league. I thought I was still making $10 million a year, Ashley. I'm sorry. Now I'm living off of $400,000.
The chat said no take backs. Now you in deep. Now you in too deep.
Hey, oh my goodness. Yo, it's so funny. The whole team, we got people over here. They know the situation. They like, no, nigga. No. Keon said, yo, Keon, come here, Key.
Keon got it. Let it borrow from Keon. Keon got it.
Key, why you tell me no, bro?
Man, when he said that, I said, "Hey, bro, let's not go there now." You know what I'm saying? Like, can't say too much. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We trying to make it, man.
Day by day.
Someone said, "Nah, you said 1,000. You can't take it back now." Listen.
Hey, all right. Well, look, I'm gonna send you the check. That check ain't gonna clear. That's what I'm telling you.
gosh.
Right now, we entrepreneurship, but for real though, look, I'll tell y'all this. I'm standing to pay. I bet it all. I put it all in. I am an athlete.
Well,
you feel me?
Listen, the Arizona Cardinals got wind of this situation and immediately rectified it by that Saturday afternoon. And Josh Dobbs updated his fans with this video. So check this out.
Yo, all right, quick update. Guess what? The Cardinals, they got your boy, right? We are officially live in the team shop. Y'all take it easy on the Cardinals. I just got here a month ago, but we're official. Let's get it.
I love him. Ashley, I love him. We had the video from yesterday. I wish we shouldn't play that video that you showed.
He's darting. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Can we play that?
If we had, we should. I don't know if we still have it on standby, but
listen, if y'all can, just give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. The video where they were throwing darts at him, he was dodging them. But I want to show you guys his personality, and the reason why I want to show you this video, if you didn't rock with us yesterday or Monday when Ashley teed this video up. You got to get to know this guy. This guy's an NFL starter, he's a starter in the NFL, right? And this is a big deal because why they have Kyler Murray. They just gave Kyler Murray, like $100-something million guarantee.
They did.
So I'm not saying that he's going to replace Kyler Murray. I'm not saying that he'll be the QB1 for the Arizona Cardinals, but what he's doing right now is similar to what Geno Smith was doing last year. Okay. And what happened? He went out there after 9 years, 10 years, just being or 8 years in the league, being a backup guy. Okay. He get his opportunity in Seattle, replaces Russell Wilson, the most winningest quarterback through 10 years. And he goes out there and he was one of the most efficient quarterbacks, top 3 all year. And he landed himself a really nice deal. Okay. could this potentially be Josh Dobbs? 9th in QB rating, 10th in QBR, 4th in completion percentage. And they're surprising some teams.
They are.
Get to know this kid. Do we have that video?
We have the video. This is Brandon's.
Dobbs,
Here we
I'm
go.
putting him on a bulletin board. I'm throwing darts at him.
No cards.
Hey, yo, fan favorite. This is my new. What is it?
And not
Is
only
it
that,
Man Crush?
not only that,
Bromance.
I've liked Josh Dobbs since he was in college. He's extremely smart. I mean, he has a degree in like aerospace engineering or something like that. Like when his
Really?
football career is over, he can go work for NASA. Like he's extremely smart. So he's talented athletically, but I think that, you know, he has a very lucrative life and career for him set once he walks away from the game. The man is intelligent. So
Is there any award that he could potentially be up for? He can't be up for comeback player of the year because he never did anything.
I don't know, but I think that
Geno won it last year, but because Geno, didn't Geno win it? Like we got to give him, if he continues this, Ashley, we got to give him something.
we shall see. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on Josh Dobbs. It seems like he is there to stay at QB1. You know, it was reported before the season started that the Cardinals were going to go back and forth week to week with different quarterbacks, but it seems like they are riding the Josh Dobbs train, and you can understand why. He's doing a pretty decent job. So we're going to move on. Not too far from Arizona is New Mexico, and rivalries are one thing, but this is just kind of disgusting. Okay, so New Mexico State quarterback Diego Pavia was allegedly caught peeing on New Mexico's logo inside their practice facility. He was recorded while doing it by a friend, and the video ended up being leaked, no pun intended. Now, KOB4 caught up with an Albuquerque resident who was not at all pleased with the decision. He said, "You're supposed to represent the school that you're playing for. You're a Division I athlete. You're not supposed to just be some hooligan." So we have the report, the video here with the image of what he did. So check this out.
This video appears to show New Mexico State University's starting quarterback peeing on a Lobo logo. This is inside the University of New Mexico's indoor practice facility. Someone is recording the video, which KOB4 got a hold of recently. He gives a middle finger to another Lobo logo while they're at it. This appears to be Diego Pavia. The junior NMSU quarterback is from Albuquerque. He played for Volcano Vista High School and then New Mexico Military Institute before becoming an Aggie. People in Albuquerque were not happy when we showed them what he did.
You're supposed to represent the school that you're playing for. You're a Division I athlete. You're not just supposed to be, you know, some hooligan.
That's disgusting. I'm sorry. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just gross.
I mean, what y'all think happens on a college campus? Like, you know what I mean? He just got caught. He got caught. Like, I see some disgusting stuff from frat boys and football players, basketball players, regular students. Who was filming him? How did this get out? That's the conversation. How you let your homie leak the stuff?
Well, listen, it says that, you know, he was urinating on a rival's logo, and in the clip, the person recording can be heard saying, "Yeah, 10," which is his number, F them. Now, a spokesperson for the Aggie said that, quote, "Any information regarding the potential discipline of a student would be protected under federal privacy laws." So they're looking for, I guess, you know, somebody to rat him out. But head coach Tim Beck appeared to confirm the suspicions of the situation during a press conference on Tuesday. And he said, quote, "You have high expectations for all of your players. And so, again, we're disappointed in his actions, disappointed in what happened, but we will handle it internally and we'll move forward." So he was peeing on a rival's logo.
Right. I mean,
yeah,
it's going to end up in a suspension. Mm-hmm. That's what will end up happening. Look, once in high school, I toilet papered Winter Springs High School.
Okay, but TPing, it's called TPing.
TPing, that's what it is?
TPing is different than, like, peeing on something.
I know.
Or someone.
That's crazy. You know what TPing is.
I I've TP'd before.
Who? Somebody's house?
Yeah, like in school. Heck yeah, TP'd. We've TP'd cars.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, egged cars,
Yeah.
egged houses. Yeah.
We felt good about it too. It was like one of our rivalries, Lake Howell High School versus Winter Springs, and we go out like 2 a.m. we're gonna go over there. Hey, at Winter Park, I went from Pittsburgh where we had one white family in the neighborhood, and I feel so bad for that kid. They used to run him home. And then when I moved to Florida, we were like we were one of 2 black families in the whole neighborhood.
One thing about them tables, they always turn.
They turn. And so I say that because, now I'm on that. Like, we're going to eat after supper. Okay, Johnny, Maddie, after supper, we're going to meet up at 2 a.m. and we're going to go TP Winter Springs. We were all like, yeah, let's go. So we out there. We had a good time. The whole school. We felt good about it. Man, 3 days later, Friday night, them lights came on. Them boys beat us 45-0. It was like the Dolphins versus the Broncos. Boy, they beat us so bad.
I know in high school once we did the forks in the football field.
Forks?
Yeah, you stick the forks in the football field. So when you go out in gym class, like you can't use the field to like
forks everywhere?
Forks all up in the field. So it's like you can't go out there and do stuff. So we did that. Yeah, like plastic, like plastic, like little spork things that you just stick them in the grass so that when you try to go out in the morning and they try to cut the grass and stuff, they can't do it.
So y'all covered like the whole
football field.
So how many people went out there?
Everybody from the senior class was out there sticking forks in that joint. It was funny.
Yeah.
What else did we do? Water balloons in the hallway. So that you couldn't walk through the hallway without stepping on a balloon and it bursting in the hallway.
Like the whole hallway,
a certain hallway. So like the science lab hallway or wherever you throw water balloons, roll them down there so that nobody could maneuver through the hallway without stepping on them. We did a lot of stuff in high school.
What high school you went to?
I went to I don't want to put myself on blast because if I've never gotten caught for those activities, so I didn't do them. It was just. People did them.
What is it called when it's like 7 years? You're 7 years removed from your crime. It's not due process. No, what is it called?
Statute of limitations.
Yes, there you go.
Well,
You good.
I ain't putting myself on blast. I didn't do it. I was just a witness. Listen, Steph Curry, and the S is for sand dune because basketball season is right around the corner. But for Steph Curry, it looks like it's already begun. Now, as you know. I keep saying now I'm saying football. Basketball season is right around the corner, and Steph Curry is in Dubai with his wife Aisha, enjoying one last vacation before the season grind begins. But for the 4-time NBA champion, the work never stops because he is getting in one hell of a workout. Check this out.
He cut himself. Go! Go!
I mean, that's crazy. First of all, running in sand in general is hard as hell. Running uphill in sand is crazy. Sand dunes like that?
Why he running like that, though? You see him running like that? Why?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Seeing basketball players running just be weird. But that's dope. You got to find a way.
He's training.
You got to find a way to train. You got to stay in shape. I've seen players travel the world, do some cool things. This was a dope scene. Ashley.
Somebody said Brandon should TP Josh McDaniels' car.
Oh my goodness. I saw something last night.
Would you TP his car?
No, I'm over him. I mean, it's like he's about to get fired. It's about to be a wrap. I mean, I'm not trying to kick a man while he's down. But they have the betting odds on who's going to get fired first, and he was 1, and I think the Bears head coach was 2, and 3rd was Brandon Staley, I believe.
Well,
your guy, you don't like him. But then you also said they're going to win
in spite of him.
Yeah,
so. Well, listen, we have the ultimate jersey exchange. I mean, put this in the Jersey Exchange Hall of Fame because yesterday on Instagram, Jamie Foxx shared that he gave Michael Vick a Willie Beeman jersey, the character he portrayed in Any Given Sunday, which is one of my favorite sports movies of all time. I mean, this is dope. This is very, very cool. This photo went viral Probably one of Jamie Foxx's greatest characters that he's ever played. Have you ever seen that movie?
Of course.
Just making sure, because there's sometimes
I don't remember like all the top scenes, but I definitely watched it. But it's not a top. There you go, Willie Beeman. Who's that? That's Young Thug.
That is not Young Thug. Are
yeah,
you crazy?
Boy, that boy Young Thug don't age.
That is not Young Thug.
That ain't Young Thug?
No, that's not Young Thug.
No
Oh my
Thug
God. This man said Young.
This ain't the top 5. Listen,
Yes,
first off,
that's
shout out to
Young
Mike
Thug.
Vick. You know, Mike Vick is one of those dudes, right? Like, everybody, culture, and, you know, comfortable being themselves. Like, he was him, the Allen Iversons of the world. They were that. And he doesn't switch up. A couple nights ago, I think it was Monday Night Football, Kamish, Curtis Martin, then Michael Vick was all sitting in the suite. Curtis Martin all suited and booted. Kamish was a little casual, and then you had Mike Vick sitting there with his fitted cap, just always on brand. Like, love Michael Vick, and it's just like, it's a beautiful thing to see somebody rebound, right? Like, we like to see our heroes fall, but to see Mike Vick rebound and just all over the place is phenomenal. Excuse me, it's like Allen Iverson.
Can you put that video, the photo back up for a second? Not the one of the jersey exchange. No, that's not. First of all, I want to see it with Jamie Foxx drinking the smoothie on any given Sunday, because I just feel like that doesn't even look like Young Thug.
Yes, what
does it? Can
Keon,
we get that photo back up? That look like Young Thug to you?
Yeah,
I feel like it looks more like Gunna than Young Thug. That looks like Gunna.
Gunna? No.
Like a skinny Gunna. Yeah, it does.
Hold on, let's see.
That don't look like a skinny Gunna to you? I don't think.
And then that's
Young
JCole,
Thug's already skinny.
J.Cole
That is not.
there.
Okay, you wildin'. That is not
J.Cole
JCole.
right there.
Oh my God, I can't listen.
Or what's the little that look? That's no. Let's move on.
Let's not get in trouble here, Brandon. Okay, listen. Kevin Hart and Deuce Tatum might be, I don't know, twinsies, because while appearing on Kevin Hart's Cold as Balls podcast, Boston Celtics superstar Jason Tatum brought a special gift for the famous 76ers fan, a Celtics jersey. Except this particular jersey belonged to his son, Deuce. And, well, Kevin Hart tried it on, and, I mean, look for yourself.
I got a surprise for you, a little gift. This is my son's jersey, but they told me it might fit. And I know how much you love the Celtics. Just try it for me, please.
Come on, man.
This is how I get Deuce dressed in the morning.
Hey, give me the goddamn jersey.
I knew it would fit. Look good on you, too.
It actually don't fit bad. It's like it's a 2T?
Something like that. Deuce on the back.
Right. Shouts out to Deuce. Thank you. I'm not going to disrespect it.
Perfect fit. It's a perfect fit.
Yo, that dude said this is how I get Deuce dressed in the morning. That was hilarious. Kevin Hart, what did he say? It's a 2T?
He said, what size is this? 2T?
Yo, Kevin
perfect
Hart.
fit.
Kevin Hart, man, like, we just talking about Michael Vick. You know, I guess this is Flowers Day, Crown Day, but it's just too easy for him. It's just too easy for him. He's so funny. He's so good, man. I love it. Have you watched that Cold as Balls?
I've seen like clips of it. Yeah, like when they're in the ice tub. Yeah. I've seen the ice bath rather, but that's just it's funny to me that like he actually like fit that jersey.
Top 3 comedians in the game right now.
Oh, Dave Chappelle's number 1.
Resurgence.
I don't know that many comedians. I put Kevin Hart in there, obviously.
Really? Okay.
I feel like, I mean, his stand-up's not that funny to me anymore, but like for overall success from stand-up, content, just like I put him in there.
Chappelle is just
Chappelle's in a league of his own. Like, he's like the LeBron.
It's like, almost as if like Dave Chappelle, it's not even comedy. He's like a politician. It's like he's starting these conversations. He's using comedy. Well, we know that. That's what he does, right? Like, he's using comedy to have like some real conversations that need to be had but are so uncomfortable. Yeah. And he does it in a way that just is entertaining, and yeah, I like it. I mean, some people said Chris Rock probably. No. In top 3? I don't know. He had a little moment after the slap. Like, he did his little thing. Not a moment after the slap. Jesus. He been done.
All right, moving on here.
People really rock with Chris Rock like that?
My parents love Chris Rock as a comedian.
Oh, I got Mr. Jen. Yeah,
Like, I don't know if they still like him, but back in the day, Chris Rock's stand-up was like bomb.
He was interesting. But he never was, Christy O said Chris Rock top 5. No. Eddie Murphy was dope. Richard Pryor, Bernie Mac. But these are all time now.
Cat Williams had a moment. Hilarious.
Cat Williams actually is better than Chris Rock now. Cat Williams is still.
It depends on what your kind of comedic liking is.
Yeah.
Pimpin'. All right. Listen. Tyreek Hill has interesting post-NFL career plans. Earlier this year, the Super Bowl champion announced his plans to retire from football after the 2025 season. Well, it seems we now know what the Cheetah plans on doing in retirement. Roll it.
What is going on?
You gonna be all over, huh? You gonna be on TV, everything. Huh?
Nah, when I retire, bro, I really want to be a porn star, though, bro. Like, dead serious.
Tyreek Hill wants to go into porn post-retirement. Brandon, yay or nay?
I don't get it. Tyreek Hill knows what he wants to do after he retires. What?
I want to retire. When I retire, I really want to be a porn star.
I don't get it.
That's what he wants to do.
I'm saying what I don't get is why did he say it?
They were asking him about his post-retirement plans. He did say that he wants to retire after the 2025 season. That's what he said. Don't know if he'll stick to that. And he said that he wants to go into porn after that.
This is what I would say. Sorry, I know this is supposed to be funny, but I'm gonna sit down with Tyreek soon, and and that's one of my first questions. Like, I want, who are you outside of the show, right? Because that's what I'm saying. Like, why did he say it? You know what I mean? Like, I want to know. Take that away. Like, boom, I'm trying to be not saying trying to be Mr. Beast, but he does a lot of YouTube content. He does a lot of social content, right? He's funny. He always has these sound bites. Reminds me a lot of like Ocho Cinco, right? Like that blueprint. Take that away. Who are you? I want to have that type of conversation.
So do you not like his post-NFL career plan?
Well, I mean, it didn't make me laugh.
No, it's not supposed to be funny. Do you do you believe it?
He just no, I don't believe it. He ain't about to do that.
Would you look down on it if you went into porn post NFL?
Yeah, I've never watched porn in my life, so I don't know like the business around it. I don't know.
Keon says you lying, bro. Well, listen. What did you say? The business behind it.
Yeah, I need to know the
Keon ain't buying what you selling,
Can
bro.
he make money doing it? Like
Tyreek Hill porn. I mean, think about it. Like, hold on.
It beats fast. The cheetah.
Just in terms of the marketing behind it. Think of the marketing behind it. His nickname's the Cheetah. Like, just think about like the marketing side alone.
I can't connect it. I can't connect the dots. Like, so Cheetah and like, give me the.
I mean, I can't brand it, but Tyreek Hill going into porn alone would sell
but
itself.
But you said Cheetah. You highlighted his nickname Cheetah. So give me a headline. Give
Cheetahs
me some type
are
of caption.
Right?
2 minutes with Cheetah.
2 minutes with Cheetah.
2 minutes.
2 minute drill with the Cheetah.
The quickest of them all, the Cheetah.
2 minute drill with the Cheetah.
2 minute drill with the Cheetah. Cheetah chumps again. Keep going, Ashley. Come on. Let's keep going. Another one.
Someone said Fast Pumps Cheetah by Cheetah Beta. Cheetah Beta. Okay, I get that.
Cheetah Beta.
Listen. All right. Well, speaking of the Cheetah, he had a Brandon Marshall moment on the sidelines of
Cheetah Feeder. He got a
foot fetish.
Cheetah Feeder. Hey, you know what? This is interesting.
That's what I said. The marketing behind it alone.
Because there's a through line. There's a story that you can follow. Like,
Someone said 2 minute drill is crazy.
I like it.
Listen. Well, speaking of the Cheetah, he had a Brandon Marshall moment on the sidelines of the Dolphins Broncos game because the video from NFL Films circulating the internet right now has Tyreek trying to pronounce the word camaraderie. Check this out.
Y'all ain't got that camaraderie.
That what?
That camaraderie.
Camaraderie.
Oh,
camaraderie. Hey, bro, that's why I like this guy, bro, fam. That's why I like y'all boys, bro.
Appreciate that, gang.
Let's run that one more time. One more time for the folks.
What'd he say?
Y'all ain't got that camaraderie.
That what?
That camaraderie. Oh,
camaraderie. Hey, bro, that's why I like this guy, bro. Fam. That's why I like y'all boys, bro.
appreciate that, guy.
Hearing that reminded me of Brandon trying to pronounce Colorado, trying to pronounce Jaguars, trying to pronounce gravitas, the list we should just have a list of words running on this show that Brandon Marshall can't pronounce.
There's a bunch of them. You know what, Ashley? Think about it. There's a lot of words that I chop up.
A lot.
How the hell did I make it into this business? You know how? Because I know what I know and I know what I don't know. And I stay away from words like that. Even, that's a big word in ball. Camaraderie.
Camaraderie.
You see, I had to really focus. I'm like Cheetah. Camaraderie, right? So in post-game interviews, if I wanted to use that word, I wouldn't use that word. No, the team came together. I like the energy around the team. The team came together. It's galvanized. We galvanized. It's a vibe right now. Camaraderie. I'm with you, Cheetah.
Brandon in the chat wants to hear you say Colorado.
Colorado. How you say it? Colorado.
And Jaguars?
Jaguar.
No, not Jaguar. Jaguars.
That is not it.
Jaguars. Keon, say Jaguar. Jaguar.
See?
He said Jaguar.
What did I say?
Jaguar. And when you say
Jaguar.
peers, it sounds like you're saying pears.
Peers.
Shout out to all the pears.
Peers. Shout out to the peers. Your peers. Your peers.
Peers.
Hey, listen, Linda. Throw my video up there. Listen, Linda. Listen. All right, come on. We don't have to throw it up. We can move on.
All right, listen. Geno Smith is the ultimate leader. Listen, Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith famously told the NFL world, they tried to write me off, but I didn't write back. And it seems he applies that same ideology and philosophy to leading his teammates. A video of his pep talk to the rookie Jackson Smith-Njigba has gone viral on social media. And in the video, the QB is heard telling number 11, hey, whatever happened, it's on me. It ain't ever on you. I need you to get the ball. Check this out.
Hey, I need you. I need you in the second half. I need you locked in. Hey, look, whatever happened, it's on me. It ain't never on you. And you got to get the ball, so I got to find you, all right? But I need you to give me your best this second half, all right? Come on. Come on, Lock. Come on. Oh, hey, let's go. You the best. Let's go. Come on.
Now, the Seahawks would go on to win that game against the Carolina Panthers.
Blew them boys out.
I mean, this is really dope to see, Brandon, because I know you tell the story often about when you guys were on the Jets together.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't the most mature.
He was my roommate.
He was your roommate, but he also had a lot of growing up to do. So
That's right.
Seeing him in this position now, years later, leading the Seahawks, it just shows his growth, not only as a player, as a man, but as a leader.
Listen, I'm not surprised by this. I don't believe that everyone can lead. I do believe that there's leaders that need development. And everything that Geno just did, okay, this past Sunday, is what he was doing when we was on the Jets. He's always been that guy. The problem for Geno back then was his other actions didn't match up. So that's why he lost the credibility and dudes wouldn't follow. Meaning, like, are you the first one in? Are you the last one out? Right? What are you doing at 12, 1 in the morning? Right? Like, what are we doing? Right? Like, are you acting like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning in your own way? You don't got to be like them. Or are you acting like Future? You know what I'm saying?
Not Future.
Meaning, like, there's a difference between an athlete and an artist. Like,
you.
there's some things that we can't do. You know what I'm saying? So Geno always had this. Even that little thing right there, how he grabbed your head and do that. I did that several times with G. Right? So I'm not surprised. What we're witnessing is the maturation process of a man, of a leader. Right? And that's very beautiful. I'm so happy for Geno. And I was hard on him. Like I like you said, very public. It is what it is, because that's what somebody did for me to get it. Like, I love you enough to tell you, like, nah, bro, you gotta act like a CEO. You know how many books I didn't pass this dude? Like, look, read Good to Great, read Built to Last. You gotta operate like a CEO. What are we doing in here? Why is the kitchen like this, bro? Did you make your bed, bro? You know what I'm saying? It's the little things. It's the details. So I'm happy for him because he's finally putting it all together on the field and off the field. And it's beautiful, and that's why he's taking off.
I mean, the Seahawks right now are second in the NFC West. They beat the Lions on the 17th. They lost to the Rams on the 10th, but they beat the Seahawks last week. They faced the Giants on Monday Night Football. So right now they're sitting at 2-1. You know, when Geno got to the Seahawks, you know, it was intended, at least the way it initially presented itself, to be what I like to call a transition quarterback.
Right.
You know, it's not your franchise guy. It's the guy that's going to kind of lead you through, you know, the trials and tribulations until you find that guy. But I mean, seeing videos like this and seeing how the rooks respond to them, they went on to win that football game, not even by a little, but by a lot, 10.
Right.
So, you know, you speak about Russell Wilson, or if you let his teammates tell it, you know, there seemed to at some point be a disconnect between Russell Wilson and his teammates in Seattle. At least that's the story that we have been given. Geno seems to be connecting with these guys on a different level, and not even just singling Russell Wilson out. Matthew Stafford made it clear that he was his wife did rather, that he was having a hard time connecting to some of his guys. But Geno seems to have that situation down packed. So if you're Pete Carroll and you're the Seahawks organization, are you now thinking long-term with Geno Smith and thinking that this could be the quarterback that you need if you get the pieces that you need around him and fill in the gaps on defense and the other holes within the team, the roster? Do you now have more faith every time he wins, every time you see videos like this, that he could be your guy, that maybe you don't need to draft a quarterback?
That's right. So, Ashley, while you were saying that, I looked up the Geno Smith contract. Listen, I thought this was a fair deal this past offseason. He went out there last year and balled out. You know, he was, for like the first 10 weeks, he was like the most efficient quarterback. It was something crazy. He won a crazy run, and they rewarded him for it. And so I thought that Geno could potentially demand a better contract, a bigger contract, but they didn't. They're like, you know what? We believe in you. You are a guy. But we need to see it a little bit more. We're going to give you just enough, right? And so they gave him a 3-year contract worth $105 million. That's what they did. So it was $40 million in overall guarantees. So they gave him a deal that's like, yo, we believe in you, and you know, to get the bigger one where you're averaging $40-45 million a year, you know, maybe do it another 2 years, right? And I think that's what will happen. I think they're totally removed from looking at any quarterbacks in the draft.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He has to flame out. He has to totally like crash and burn.
But do you think that they still entertain, maybe not a first rounder, but a quarterback just in general, because Geno is in his 30s?
All right, so let's look at how old Geno Smith is.
I think he's 33, right?
Let me see. No, that's too old for him.
No?
Geno Smith age. Boom, popped up right there. Geno Smith. Oh, you're right. He's 32.
Okay, so it's close.
So he's 32. So it depends, Ashley. Like, he doesn't have a lot of tread on the tires. He doesn't have a lot of wear and tear. Remember, you know, he sat on the bench and he backed up, you know, Russell Wilson. He backed up Eli Manning. He backed up. Was it Justin Herbert? Because I think he was with the Chargers as well.
Yes, remember that's the whole situation. Oh,
no, that was Tyrod Taylor. He was somewhere in L.A. He had a year there. So he's been a backup. You know, we're seeing quarterbacks play. Kirk Cousins is 35. Russell Wilson's 34. Aaron Rodgers is turning 40. We've seen quarterbacks play well into their late 30s. Can Geno Smith potentially be that? Yes. So I can see them bringing in a quarterback maybe in the 3rd, 4th round to see if they can sit for a couple years while they're waiting to see what Geno Smith is going to continue to do. But I don't see them going out there saying like, we got to go replace Geno, because you don't solve that problem now. Don't do that. Go get it. You know, use your 1st round, 2nd round, 3rd round picks to build around him to go get that Legion of Boom back.
Right.
I don't see them doing that, Ashley.
Well, we're going to see how Geno does Monday Night Football against the New Jersey Football Giants. And speaking of the NFC East, the Cowboys are worried about their exes, because why not add more shit to the Cowboys shitstorm? That's just how we do things. Per ESPN's Todd Archer, the Dallas Cowboys are worried about the Patriots learning their signals ahead of the Week 4 game. Now, the Cowboys obviously lost Ezekiel Elliott, and he is now a New England Patriot, but also the team signed QB Will Grier last week, who also had a stint with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Patriots offensive coordinator said, quote, "We know Will knows where a lot of the bones are buried. We know Zeke does as well. I'm sure Grier is being interrogated as we speak." Now, it is important to note that asking players about signals of their former teams is not cheating. It's a normal practice in the NFL, so nothing, 100%. Conspicuous is going on here. But can't wait.
I know, Ashley, listen,
I'm thrilled.
Listen, I know you're looking like, man, we don't need.
I really don't need this stress.
Challenges for the Cowboys.
I don't.
Look, here's something also to highlight.
I miss you, Zeke.
Not only is it not illegal or cheating, teams actually bring in players, during big games for a week just to get the download. Right? So check it. The Patriots can go sign that backup quarterback that they cut, that's sitting on the streets for practice squad, just to come in and put him in the room and say, yo, let's go through all the hand signals. Right? Oh, let's go through all their 2 minute. What are they doing for 4 minute? Right? And so you got these kids coming in thinking that, oh shoot, I just got picked up off the street.
You're a mole.
Yeah, but they're coming. Just give me the download.
So you basically you a mole.
That's right.
Got it.
So here's the situation here, and this is let's talk a little football. Let's nerd out a little bit. Coach McCarthy, all right, head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Your Dallas Cowboys.
For now.
Right. Okay, I like it. Oh, what that mean?
For now.
Okay. All right.
It's called manifestation.
Coach McCarthy. Let's go to Appleton, Wisconsin. He was there 12, 13 years. I don't know how long he was there. But he had Aaron Rodgers, and they ran a particular type of offense, right? They're
it was the West Coast offense, right?
Well, hand signal and a lot of adjustments. Aaron Rodgers go to the line, and Aaron Rodgers can go out there and say, okay, we got 2x2. I'm seeing what the defense is doing. Oh, let's go here. Spider, 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 spider. Here's the signal. Web, 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 web. How do I know that?
Omaha. No,
ask me how I know that, Ashley.
How do you know that, Brandon?
I know that because I played for the New York Football Giants, Ashley, in 2017, and guess who was the head coach? Ben McAdoo.
Ooh.
Do you know where Ben McAdoo was?
Green Bay.
He was in Green Bay, Ashley. So guess what? This same offense that McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers been running since 2008 and 9 is the same one that Ben McAdoo was running with the Giants. And when I got there, why was it so easy to stop us? Why has it been so easy at times, last year, to stop like the Cowboys? Because it's the same thing. Just listen to it. You might even hear them do this or say, spider, 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 web, 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 right? And all that.
Why don't they change their? Don't a lot of teams change their calls for this very reason?
Hey, listen, not all coaches are smart.
Oh, because I would think like you would change your calls against a team that knows your calls. It kind of seems self-explanatory.
Well, let's nerd out a little bit more.
Okay.
Let's nerd out a little bit more. And Peyton and Tom Brady, like, they changed a lot of rules and they lobby for a lot of stuff. But and I don't know what they changed here, but we're not only watching all 22 or our film that we shot, our film department shot. We'll go back and watch the live broadcast. Why? Because we're getting the audio. I'm watching ESPN Monday Night Football, and I'm seeing, like, you're hearing Omaha. We all know that. Omaha, right? Because we heard Peyton Manning. What does that mean? Omaha, blue gold. Oh, shoot. Nobody went. Okay, that's their little dummy call. Omaha, blue gold. Then they went on the second time. But what did he give? Web. Let's go dragon. Let's go lion. And the signals. So when we're sitting there on a Wednesday and Thursday watching film, we're watching that. Okay, shoot. When he said Omaha, blue gold, what happened? Where was everybody at? Then when he said Omaha, blue gold, what happened the second time? But he also said, dragon, lion. So when he said hike, what did they do? These two ran slant. This one went to the flat. This one did this. Boom, boom, boom. So now when we out there, you hear dragon, lion, dragon, lion. Now you see the defense of the defense, the safeties or the linebackers checking. Check this, check that, ba, ba, ba. It's chess. right? And so the good players and the good coaches adjust, and some of them do the same thing for 13, 14 years. And what do we call them, Ashley? Do you remember?
That's like in Colorado.
Slow blinkers.
That's like Colorado when Deion goes, Nicki Minaj. It's a fake. I know that one.
What?
Nicki Minaj.
But why
for Colorado.
they say fake though? Why?
You know.
No, Deion.
When Deion calls Nicki Minaj, it's a fake.
What they say Brittany Griner, because you know
I don't know if they use Brittany Griner. You mean Brittany Renner?
Brittany Renner.
I don't know what that, but I know Nicki Minaj.
Who is Brittany
their
Renner?
code
Was
for
she a
fake.
porn star or was she just a social influencer?
No, I think she was just an IG girl.
Oh, I'm so sorry. No disrespect, but like, because some people like.
No, she just.
But okay, so no disrespect. No
she was an
disrespect.
Instagram
Let me
girl, but I don't think
let
she
me
did
slow
porn.
down. Woo
Yeah.
side. Give me some sage. Like,
But I do know.
If I get what they call cancel on YouTube, that's all bad. Give me some sage.
I do know that Nicki
No, I'm just
Minaj
playing.
is means fake. I knew that. I picked up on that during the games. Nicki Minaj. It's
That's
fake.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, Deion, he going. You're going too far, Deion. You're going too far. What do you have next? Can we talk a little bit about Deion Sanders real quick? Like, can you give me 30 seconds?
30 seconds. Go ahead. Run
All
off.
right, hold on. Let me think about real quick. Again, so like there are a lot of talk around Deion Sanders, right? Oregon blew him out.
They're facing USC.
They're facing USC on Saturday. We're all going to be watching. It's so funny that coach from Oregon, right? You know, and we already talked about this, but I just want to talk about it again, right? He's like, I hope those same people that was watching last week when the comeback week, everybody was up. If you're on the East Coast, we went to bed at what, 2:30, 3 o'clock?
2:30 in the morning over
right,
here.
we all watching.
Mm-hmm.
I want those same people to watch this week. Listen, buddy, and I'm talking to all the buddies out there.
All the buddies.
Listen, buddy, we all watching. Let me tell you something. We are proud of Deion Sanders. Like, it ain't even about, this ain't about just one game. This ain't just about one season. We are proud that Deion is walking in his purpose. We are proud that he's bringing a culture and he is showing up as himself everywhere he go. The glasses ain't coming off. The language ain't changing, right? And so, yes, we are going to continue to watch. We coming. And all the 5 stars.
Pause.
All the 5. Okay, Ashley said all the 5 stars, all the 4 stars. We coming. The culture's coming. Like, we ain't, that's not what we do. We not, my dog lost one game. And guess what? He might lose this week. They might lose 3, 4 in a row. But guess what? Offset gonna keep coming. Kawhi Leonard gonna keep coming. If we can pause the whole segment, pause the whole thing, okay? Who else was there? T.O. gonna keep coming. I don't know why T.O. keep showing up everywhere. Master P gonna keep coming. Who else? Lil Wayne gonna keep coming. Who? Mac Main gonna keep coming. Who else keep going? Gilly the Kid and Wallow gonna keep coming. Dipset gonna keep coming. Mason Cam gonna keep coming. You know, they definitely gonna run this clip. Y'all need to. I paused the whole segment, bro. You give me a pass, Keon. Golly. Everybody coming, bro. The whole culture coming, bro. What y'all talking about? Deion, we love you and we proud of you. And you know we watching. Now come on the show in 2-3 weeks, Deion. We with ya. You see the strategy there? You see the, I believe. Give me my theme song. Give me my theme music.
Well, listen, the coach of Oregon did say, I think after the game or the next day, you know, he did speak about the game, but he also did give Deion his flowers and said what he's doing for college football should be celebrated, and it's great. Well, I'll go ahead and put that in the rundown
What's
tomorrow
his name?
so we can go ahead and dissect that. I'm drawing a blank on it.
Okay.
It's Dan something or another, I think. Whatever. I'll put it in the rundown
Dan,
tomorrow.
whatever from Oregon.
We'll dive into that.
Next year, I'm going to put a request in to the Sanders family that they don't beat you 45-10. Okay? They're not going to run up this score. It might be 35-10 next year.
Dan Lanning.
Because guess what? Next year, Deion coming. Yeah. I'm having too much fun with this.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go ahead and
I really do need the sage. Like, for real. Like, I'm just like these last 3 days, I did interrupted you 20 times today.
That's cool.
We didn't got in an argument on Monday.
That's cool.
I
Today's
can't-
Wednesday. It's hump day. We're in a better space Are we saging for real?
I need it because I'm just like I'm at.
What
can't be
what are you
revved
drinking?
up.
Hennessy? What's in the
No, this is water, H2O, and some BCAAs. Listen, hydration is critical. And BC in the booth. Y'all got the video up there. Show the control room if y'all got the control room. Bro, you know, every time I drink my water, you don't got to go to another angle, right? Because I'm trying to tell the people, your body is made up of 70% water, okay? If you're dehydrated, Ashley, did you know that your performance can decrease by 20-25%?
Hey, guys.
Woo, woo. Can we hear y'all or nah? Y'all can't talk.
They can't. They don't have any words.
Yeah, you're right. Because, no, keep it right there. Keep the video right there. Because, BC, we done gave you 3 opportunities to come to the show. And every time he come on, BC be folding. BC, come on out. Come on.
Why you trying to get him
Let's
to
see if he
move?
can do it. He be folding. Bro, come on. Woo, can you take control? You got to go to BC. Make sure. Okay, you know how to do. You know how to work the.
Oh,
okay.
my gosh.
Come on. We're going to give you another opportunity. Come on, Ashley. Put him in a hot seat. And let's see if he can talk some basketball, some football, whatever. Let's see. Watch this.
Put him in the hot seat. What do you want me to ask him?
Anything. I just want to see if he can deliver. All the stuff that he be talking about before the show, after the show, it's amazing
All right,
content.
I got one for you,
Okay,
BC.
bet.
I got one for you, BC.
Sit down. Take the headphones off. Get comfortable.
All right, we're gonna talk a little Dame time. All right.
Dame time?
It's
Hold
been.
on, let's be clear. This is your last opportunity, okay? We can't keep doing this, okay? Bruh, show the people your personality,
All right,
bruh.
check this out, BC. Damian Lillard. We got about a week and a half before training camp starts. Miami, Portland, Toronto. What's happening? Where's he going?
Dame's going to end up in Miami, I think.
You think? Why?
Yeah.
What's that trade package looking like? Who's going where?
That trade package is bad. It sucks. But he's going to force his hand. He's going to end up in Miami. That's all that's going to happen.
So you think Portland's going to take Tyler Hero 2 first-round picks?
Nah, they're going to pull a third team in.
Ooh.
Yeah. Third team.
Who's the third team?
I don't know who the mystery team is, but they're going to pull a third team.
You had to guess. Give me 3 teams on your roster.
Pull a third. I don't know. I think it's going to be somebody like a Utah or Charlotte or somebody. Like, I don't know what they have to offer, but, you know, they're still trying to unload
what about a Brooklyn?
salary. You throwing Ben Simmons in there?
I don't think you can trade him, right? I don't think
the
you're
only
able
way-
to. Or Toronto. You could throw Toronto in the
That's
mix.
the only way I do the deal is if Ben Simmons is in it.
Listen. They got him at. Listen, Linda. They got him at point guard. So I feel like they good with their situation. But listen, if Damian Lillard does not get traded to Miami, here's $1 million question: does he show up in Portland?
Yeah, he has to. He has to.
Respect. Why are you talking about me, Keon?
Yeah.
What you want?
Yeah.
What you want, Keon?
Cut.
Flag on the plate.
Flag on the play.
Okay, so everybody out there who, wants to get into television and media, we're learning live right now. Okay, so you can't just say, yeah, he's going to get cut. I need color. Think about Stephen A. Smith right now. Think about Shannon Sharp. This boom statement, and then give me 2 to 3 points to make us believe.
Broadcast 101 live on the air. Look. What was your question, Ashley?
All right, Damian Lillard. Does he show up to Portland for training camp if he is not traded to Miami in about a week and a half? Because that's how much longer we got.
Not on time, but he will be in training camp.
Oh.
Yeah, because he's not going to risk it. First of all, that's your name, your reputation, and you want to keep your good graces. Why would another team want to trade for you if you're holding out?
Yeah! BC, everybody. Brandon, we have another topic we got to finish.
Go.
No, this is a you topic. Let BC go back and do his job.
One more question.
I don't have any more Dame Lillard questions.
Ask him about the Giants. Yo, you the Giants.
Okay, listen, the Giants.
The New York football Giants, by the way.
New Jersey football Giants, but I digress.
Okay.
Talk
to me.
Seahawks, Giants, who you got?
Giants.
Oh, be for real. You really have faith in Daniel, whatever his
Yes,
name
the
is?
Giants will show up. They're getting a little better. They're going to get it together. They're going to start to click.
BC, you don't believe that.
I do believe that.
You don't believe
wholeheartedly.
that.
Yes, I believe that.
You don't believe that.
Yes, Danny Dimes will show up.
Y'all couldn't even pay your running back.
Don't worry about all that. He's in the house. He's
All right.
in pocket.
All right.
And he will come out and show up.
I'll be back
after
after they lose.
All right, we'll talk about it then.
Okay.
How'd your Cowboys do last week?
They're good. That 42 dub is keeping us nice.
They lost though.
We lost
They
to the Cardinals, but we ain't lose to you.
But you lost to the
But
Cardinals.
we didn't lose to you.
But you lost. The L is an L.
But we didn't lose
an
to
L
you.
is an L.
How many points did you put up against us?
It doesn't
that game?
matter. You're talking about 2 weeks ago. I'm talking about this Sunday.
Okay, well this Sunday when we win, we can revisit. This Sunday when we win, we can revisit.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
It took you 5 minutes, bro. That's what we need.
Brandon, sit down. We have a show to finish. Got me talking about these bum-ass Giants.
Yo, see what I'm saying, though? Why did it take BC
Danny
5
Nichols,
minutes
Danny
to get into his
Pennies.
bag? Can you hand me my iPad, please, brother?
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
Listen, we are going to go ahead
Dang,
and...
BC. I don't know if we can keep bringing him on, though. I like the last 2 minutes. All right, let's talk about that.
All right, let's go ahead and
Whoever.
switch gears, and we're going to talk about something a little bit more, or actually a lot more serious, so bear with me while I go ahead and cover all the bases here so we can get the full story. Chandler Jones calls out the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, Las Vegas Raiders pass rusher Chandler Jones says he's being forced to stay away from the team while he stays at a mental health facility where he allegedly hasn't been offered a bed and has to sleep on the floor. Now, the 33-year-old NFL player said it all happened after authorities told him, quote, "People were concerned about me because of my posts online." The two-time All-Pro says he was taken first to the Southern Hills Hospital before he was transported to the Seven Hills Behavioral Health Hospital, a treatment facility for those struggling with mental health issues. Now, Chandler Jones says he has reached out to Raiders GM Dave Ziegler a bunch of times but hasn't gotten an answer. Additionally, he says that his brothers bring him food and clothes, and that he's losing around $1 million for every game that he misses. He goes ahead and says that he is perfectly sane. Now, he did release images of the letter that he wrote. We have this here. This is, I believe, in a journal. It says, "First day out, if my fans and friends were wondering, I was taken in by the Las Vegas Fire Department last week against my will. I was injected with I don't know what. They said that it was a court hold in the Las Vegas police put me on it. I haven't done anything wrong. The police said people were concerned about me because of my post online. I answered my front door and a group of 5 to 7 men were there to put me in an ambulance where I was later injected, and caused them to not," and I can't read that part, but he says, "I had no cell phone or no communication. I was taken to Southern Hills Hospital and then transferred to Seven Hills where they tried to force me to take meds and other injections." And this is him saying that he had called the GM of the Raiders 6 or 7 times for help. No answer. This is not a place, Healthy Hills, it says, is not a place for high-profile athletes. My first night, I slept on the floor and was not offered a bed. He then goes ahead and says that his brothers bring him clothes and food to eat, and he's losing about $1 million a day. And again, ends the journal entry with saying, "I'm still confused on what I did wrong. I am still here. I'm very sane." This last journal entry, it seems that the bottom page is ripped. It says, "I work out in my room every day, even down the hallway at 3 a.m. if you ask the staff here. All I know is whoever put me in here had bad intentions. I am too strong of a person to be mentally broken for all of my," I can't see what that says. What does that say?
Friends that know me.
Friends that know me, they know, in
Right.
caps and exclamation. And then this here is, I guess, the Seven Hills patient rights form, or, documentation, things like that. So all of this information was released via his Twitter page. I guess somebody on his behalf did this because he said that he does not have his phone or any line of communication. So obviously his brothers or someone in his family released this information and these journal entries on his behalf. Brandon, this is very heavy.
Yep.
Obviously there's multiple sides to a story. There's your side, my side, and somewhere in between is the truth. But there has to be a level of truth to what he is saying. This is scary. This is unfortunate. It's even more unfortunate that he's reached out to the organization that pays him and his calls have gone unanswered. I mean, what do you make of this?
Yeah. There's more to the story.
In what way?
We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times, and this is how we play into the stigma, and that's where we're at in the mental health community, right? Like where the cancer community was 35, 40 years ago, is where we're almost getting out of in the mental health community. Back in the day, right, they called it the big C, and they thought like, cancer could be contagious. If you touch them, I can get it. Like they just didn't know, right? And then obviously a lot of work was done. A lot of people stood up, invested into testing and different clinical trials, et cetera, and they figured out what it was, right? There's still a lot of stigma around mental health, and I don't know if we'll ever eradicate the stigma, okay? Playing into the stigma is us in media or us as fans or people, trying to say it's this or it's that. Like, we don't know. We don't know if he has a diagnosis. We don't know what the diagnosis is. Like, we just don't know. What I will say is this, though. Obviously mental health is serious. In Florida, there's a thing called Baker Act. The Baker Act is a Florida law that enables families and loved ones to provide emergency mental health services and temporary detention for people who are impaired because of their mental illness. So every state has this, right? And so, like, when you think about the whole situation, what he defined and what happened from a letter written, and this is where I say you don't know, like there's other things that could potentially been said or done.
Well, it says that his posts online were concerning of some people, and then authorities showed up to his home.
That's what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Threats to himself, to other people, and that's when you get into Baker Acts. I don't know what the law is in Vegas, in Nevada, right? But what was described to me was almost as if somebody went into psychosis, drug-induced psychosis or something where, you just lose yourself for a little bit. Or you can lose yourself for 2-3 years. I've seen people go into psychosis, drug-induced psychosis, and they're in this like this gray, foggy state for 2 to 3 years. Obviously, if this is what he wrote, you can see that he's in his right mind. He's doing better. So that's a good sign. And then also that point where he wrote, where I think you're trying to figure out what he said. He said, I asked them not to inject me, right? That reminded me of Kanye West. Remember when Kanye West, he was still with Kim K.
He didn't want to take his meds.
He didn't want to take his meds. No, but he was Baker Act as well. Let's just say Baker Act is freaking universal across the U.S., right? So he was put into a hospital, and right, he said like it's one of the worst environments you can be in, right? And I do agree with Chandler Jones on that. Like, this mental health space is scary. I'm gonna be honest. There's some amazing people doing some amazing work, and shout out to everyone, all the caregivers, all the clinicians, all the professionals out there that's really doing good work. But it's fucking trash too. The hospitals, the outpatient, inpatient programs, it's trash. We need some people that really love people, that care, to really step up and get involved in this space. We need more people going to school and trying to major in psychology, because he is right. So
what do you make of, he's claiming that he wasn't offered a bed, that he had to sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
That his brothers have to bring him food and clothes to eat. So it seems like they're not even offering him meals. It sounds more like a prison than a health hospital. And then I think what stands out to me the most is that he's just constantly his proclamations of that he is perfectly sane. So I feel like there's a lot of gray area. It does sound like he is being mistreated, but it also sounds like he's in his right mind enough to know he's being mistreated. But then it sounds like, to be transferred from one hospital to another,
there's something there.
There's something there.
There's something there. Like, obviously there's laws there, and we understand HIPAA. We understand that, a patient and us civilians have our rights. And so for the fire department to come to the house and say, okay, we're taking you, something else is there. And that's why I say there's more to the story,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it could have been like you. This is also part of the stigma, right? He could have went out there and said, man, I'm a do X, Y, and Z to all y'all. Because he was hot. Like, you got to think about the environment that we're in as football players. It's toxic. It's all these males and the energy. You talking about we got to run into each other 22 miles per hour, smashing heads. Like, you got to tap into something different psychologically, and your mindset just totally morphs when you're in that building. So he could have went out there and said something wild. I've heard some wild things out there. And then they could say, that's the reason. But there's nothing to do. There's no type of diagnosis. There's no type of ailment. He just said what he said in that moment because he was hot.
Do you think, I mean, is it normal for people who do have some, I guess it'd be a similar situation, you know, like when an alcoholic says, I'm not an alcoholic, you know, I don't think maybe his proclamations of him being sane, you can't necessarily take that as gospel.
That's right.
Because a lot of people who do have an issue, whether it's alcoholism, whether it's drug abuse, they'll say, I'm not a drug addict, I'm not, you know, an alcoholic, when they are. That's why they say the first step is admitting you have a problem. So him saying that he's perfectly sane, I mean, do you take that as value, or do you? Okay.
No, I
and
don't.
I think also,
that's why I say, because we don't know. That's why it's like, you know, you got to sit back and you just got to pay attention, and you really just, you got to be curious. Don't be judgmental in situations like this. Be more curious, and then also be not empathetic. What is the word?
Sympathetic.
Sympathetic.
I think it is
you know
also.
what I'm saying? Like,
I think what stood out to me.
Compassionate.
Yes, I think what stood out to me though is that him saying that his brothers bring him food and clothes, and then they leave. I don't know everyone's family dynamics, but I would believe that if your brothers were bringing you food and clothes, and you were in a situation where you were being mistreated, or you were in a situation where you were someplace you shouldn't be, I would like to think that they would not allow you to be there. And the fact that they are dropping things off to him constantly but not trying to remove him makes me believe that maybe there's a reason he's there.
That's right. And then also,
you know?
If the system don't think he's ready to leave, they're going to keep him. And there's nothing we can do as family and friends.
Right.
There's nothing we can do.
I mean, lastly, before we move on from this, you know, we have about 10 minutes left of the show. I mean, the fact that he's reached out to the Raiders, you know, the GM multiple times, and his calls have gone unanswered. I mean, is that, what do you make of that situation?
Well, listen, this could be his team behind this. You know, there's a lot of money involved. Like he said, $1 million a week. So I think about that, like, you know, them trying to protect him and the money owed to him. But then it also makes me think about, like, in this moment, why are we thinking about football? Remember, I just talked about that. The game is taken away from us. You're taking my identity, right? Like, in these type of moments, let's say he's really suffering right now, right? Why the hell are we talking about football? Let me I wrote this letter when I went 2011 when I went to an outpatient program, McLean Hospital. It was 2011. It was the year of the lockout, and I didn't know how long it was going to take. So when I first got to McLean Hospital, what broke through for me was I went to this whole weekend of workshops. The best clinicians in the world. This is Harvard. It's a Harvard affiliation, like, you know, this program, this hospital, McLean. We're talking about the best in the world, Dr. Gunderson, Blaze, and Marshall Linehan, like the people who created dialectical behavior therapy, mentalization therapy, cognitive behavior therapy, all there speaking. And I didn't connect with any of that. What I connected with was the patients up there speaking, right? When, you know, this lady stood up and said, I've been in the program for 6 weeks or 6 months or 6 years, or I've been removed from this program for 6 years and now I'm living a healthy, effective life, awesome life. That's when I was like, oh shit, like, you know, that's me. There's other people dealing with this, but I'm seeing the phases of it. Someone that's just checked into this program to someone's removed from the program for 6 years, right? And so I say all that because I didn't know how long it was going to take me, right? Let me find this. But I wrote this letter to the NFL. Like, I don't know why I was like, I didn't have a publisher. I'm gonna write this letter. I'm gonna put it out publicly if I have to, because I'm not going back until, I'm right. But you can talk while I find this, or people can wait and be patient.
No, we'll definitely let you find that. While Brandon's looking for that, we'll go ahead and quickly just revisit our Pepsi Zero Sugar NFL Rookie of the Week nominees for Week 3. And listen, there is a reminder for you guys to go ahead and vote now at NFL.com/voting/rookies. Now, we're going to go ahead and just revisit our Week 3 nominees. So throw that graphic up there. There's our segment, Rookie of the Week. All right, so we're going to revisit our Week 3 nominees very quickly. So here we go. We have quarterback of the Houston Texans, C.J. Stroud. We also have Miami running back Devon Achane. We have Houston wide receiver Tank Dell. We have Detroit Lions tight end Sam Laporta. Denver wide receiver Marvin Mims, who we spoke to yesterday. And Detroit defensive back Brian Branch. Now, we did speak to Marvin Mims Jr. yesterday, as I mentioned, so we can go ahead and roll a little bit of that now.
So talk to us a little bit about, how you're approaching your finances. What plan do you have in place? What kind of advice can you give to those college guys that may be listening to you, or maybe even your peers?
One thing I'll say about it is just especially being a rookie, unless you're drafted real high. I mean, the money's not anything crazy. But at the end of the day, you got to take care of yourself, not only because you're getting the money, but at the same time, you don't know how long your career is going to last. Especially the game of football is such a physical game. Especially our player personnel guy, he tells us all the time, the vets, they got it. They on contract 2, 3, 4, and rookies, don't try and keep up with them or try and get what they have. Just live within yourself and stay within yourself.
That was Mimsy, as Sean Payton likes to call him, and now we're going to call him. So if you want to go ahead and vote for Mimsy, a.k.a. Marvin Mims Jr., make sure, again, you head over to NFL.com/voting/rookies. Now, voting closes Thursday, so that is tomorrow at 11 a.m., and the NFL will announce the Week 2 winner noon on Thursday. So do not forget to vote. One more time, these are the Week 3 nominees. We'll throw that up there along with the website at the bottom of the screen here, NFL.com/voting/rookies. And before we close out the show, Brandon, the floor is yours with this letter that you found.
Right. So, we're talking about mental health and Chandler Jones' situation, being hospitalized, right? Injected with drugs, et cetera, et cetera. So, and before I even read what I wrote, this is May 3rd, 2011 at 12:35 a.m., right? So this is my notes right here. Okay. You said something as far as can he be in denial? Absolutely, right? Because when you think about, and this is all of us, when you think about mental health, you think about diminished capacity. Especially high performers in life, NFL guys, if I'm saying, I have this disorder or something is affecting me mentally, then that means that I'm less than, right? And that's just not how you're wired as an athlete to think that. And obviously you hear this all the time, that sports is a microcosm of society. So I think we can all learn from that, right? It's not about diminished capacity at all, right? There's a lot of us that's dealing with something, and you don't have to have a diagnosis for your life to be a living hell. It's okay to ask for help. So 2011, I asked for help, and I didn't know how long I was going to spend in this outpatient program, and I put NFL on the back burner, and it was the year of the lockout, so I didn't miss any time, and nobody knew what was happening until I actually showed up to training camp, and I looked in the cameras, and there was so many people, 30, 40 men and women on a beat and networks. This is the first time that a network like ESPN and an NFL network actually broadcasted live a player's presser, right? Because I gave my team a heads up, and I gave the NFL and also the Miami Dolphins a heads up of what I was about to say, right? And everyone said, don't do it. This is career suicide. You can't say this, right? And I stood up there basically and said, the last 3 months spent time at McLean Hospital, diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. You know, I was in self-assessment, dialectical behavior therapy, blah, 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 blah. And it's time for us to break the stigma. It's time for us to put faces and voices to this thing. It's time for us to walk the halls of Congress. Why did it cost me $35,000 a month to get the help that I needed to save my life, right? And so here's the letter that I wrote when I was there. When I dreamed about making it to the NFL, I made it a reality by maintaining an honor roll level throughout my schooling. I worked out every day, and I put my all into making this dream my reality. We go through life picking up baggage, and for some of us, we don't know how or where to dump it. So we have issues that aren't resolved, which results in more problems. I asked my wife about some, statistics, and she said, "Well, it's not the NFL's problem." She said, "It's not the NFL's problem, to deal with the personalities or the person, and it's time for me to separate the two. I have decided to take an extensive leave of absence from my career because failure of my person is not an option, but will be in reality until I put everything I have in me every day into becoming the person I dreamt to be, like I did when I wanted to make it to the NFL. Thanks for your support, and may God bless us all." Like, I thought I was a presidential candidate. May God bless us all. But, it's very powerful, and I'm glad that he's writing, Ashley. Mm-hmm. And I know we are landing the plane here. Like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I never thought that we would be in this. We would be in this position as a mental health community. I thought it was going to take 20, 30 years. And I used to say the same thing over and over and over again when I testified in front of Congress, sat on, the Vatican mental health board, this is the Pope. I used to say the same thing. Where we're at in the mental health communities, where the cancer community was 20, 30 years ago. I just said it earlier, right? So it's going to take so many years for us to eradicate the stigma and do this and do that, da-da-da-da-da. And so, what I used to do when I was at McLean, I used to write. Anytime I would get to the bottom of something, I would write. I'm like, damn, like a metaphor or something. I'm like, I didn't even know, I was dealing with that, or, or this was affecting me, right? And so I'm glad that he's writing, because there's so much that comes up in writing. This weekend I was writing, because I'm in this process. Y'all hear me talk about meditation and yoga, like I'm in another transformative space. This weekend I was writing, and more things came out. And so, he's writing, and that's really good, because that's very therapeutic. And for everybody out there that, may be suffering, remember BetterHelp is a platform that you can use. There's things that you can look at, nomni.com, to get the resources or ask questions. That's a safe space for you. But make sure that you ask for help. This is a real thing.
And I think that's a perfect way to end today's show. If you were listening on SiriusXM Faction Talk 103, thank you so much. Don't forget to visit the I Am Athlete YouTube page if you want to see the video portion of our show. For everyone here on YouTube hanging out with us, thank you so much, and we will see you tomorrow.
May God bless us all. I said, may God bless us all.
Bye, guys.
May God bless us all.